Sometimes I see it as a highlight thing or something that you would see on TV, as if I was looking at a TV screen and seeing myself go through the motions. But most of the time I do it through my own eyes.
So if you really see yourself, imagine your workout or a competition, for example. It's, in my point of view, even better than a workout, a physical workout, because you're not tired physically, but you've been working in your head, you know, and you know exactly what you're doing on the board when you go on the board.
A lot of times I'll visualize the night before a game what's going to happen and what I might be facing, and then I just go out in the ice and let everything take care of itself. A lot of hockey players or a lot of athletes in general don't realize, you know, how much this can enhance your performance.
The saddest thing about the current drug epidemic in terms of abuse by young athletes is that many times they're trying to accomplish a 5 or 10% improvement through drugs, when perhaps as much as 50% is available to them if they begin to harness the powers of mind in terms of quality training and preparation.
You know, the barber shop things that go down like this, or a candy cane, has to go down exactly like that.
We try to use imagery as much as we can. When we're correcting the figures, we try to give them really vivid pictures of how we want them to feel in the water.
And you just turn right down that pool. Good.
Top performers in any field have something very special. Their mental skills are exceptional. Most of our responses are related to the pictures in our mind. What we see is usually what we get. Now, if we're to begin to approach our potential in all aspects of life, it's critical that we begin to harness the power of the mind's eye. Canada's best athletes have discovered tremendous payoffs from mastering the skill of visualization.
You know, I knew I was going to dive the 6th of August, 1984 at 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the finals. I knew where the scoreboard was going to be on my left, and I knew where the coaches were going to be sitting. You know, everything was in my head. I knew everything that was going to be there. I knew where the crowd was going to be, and I could see my dives exactly how I wanted them to be, you know, like perfect dives. And when I went on the podium, I had seen it before. I had seen myself walking down the pool, and it was like a déjà vu.
All right, forward now, we're gonna sprint. Blue to blue, here we go. We're gonna really jump now, jump with those feet.
Well, I think the real importance of mental training and visualization really is the area of practice time. I think when you come to practice, you're energized, you feel in control, you're excited about training, you're excited about improving your skills. Obviously, I think the skill acquisition is quicker and better. I think we've got a very captive audience that can really take to the ice and really train very, very hard. You can put on high training loads, high intensity workouts, you can demand a lot, and the guys cope with it and they handle it very well. Through good, consistent mental prep and through visualization, feeling positive, taking charge of the activity, the guys can go through it and be very, very effective. For example, our hydro workouts, I mean, when we talk about explosive exercise, they visualize in their mind, you know, explosiveness, power, good form, good technique, and all those things combined, I think gives you a really good quality workout. They get a good visual image of what they're going to do, and boom, we get good results.
Taking care of business. 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 Every day. Taking care of business. Every way. Taking care of business. It's all right. Taking care of business. Working overtime.
You can have as much success as you want in your mind, which really gets you pumped up. Especially on the bench, when I'm watching other players out there, I try to pretend that I'm in their shoes, and that does serve a lot of purposes. I think that really keeps me in the game a lot better, and especially when there's there's distractions and things that are hard to park. Again, visualization is good for parking, and it's good for relaxation sometimes. I see myself being loose out there and have the puck, and I have the loose hands and moving fluid and feeling good.
I would say it came basically naturally to me. I never really sat down and said, oh no, I have to do my mental rehearsal now. I think I basically did it from day one. I would visualize a perfect figure or a perfect routine, and then I would try to do that in the water.
Okay, let's take it from the beginning.
Okay, right from the time that the swimmers make the national team, we begin a mental preparation program with them where they learn the various relaxation skills, the centering and the focusing, and the imaging and the visualization. And throughout their years on the team, they become more and more competent at this. And I think this definitely plays a big part in how well they do compete on the international scene. Certainly for Kelly and Sharon at the Olympics, the visualization really kept them energized. They used a lot of their cue words were powerful, and they feel the cool, crisp water as they dive into the pool. Also very positive, because they knew that they were going to be competing in the States, and they would have to stay positive competing against the Americans in their own home country. So they had a lot of positive things in their scripts where they said things like, the audience loves us and we feel great and we're performing perfectly.
Haven't seen anything quite like this today. And watch now for this double boost. First one is Sharon, and Sharon again, air ball.
I'm often asked the question, how do you get people to visualize? I mean, really, how do you get them not to? In a very personal, creative, but persistent way, top athletes work on the control, the clarity, and the feeling of their images. Terry Orlick has learned from and helped many young performers improve the quality of their visualization.
That looks good.
Thanks.
You're up in the air.
Yeah, I'm getting the feel.
Good. What do you want to do now?
I think I'd like to do double flip because it warms me up well for triple salchows.
Yeah, I'd like you to run in your head just with the perfect feel that you want.
Okay.
Remember the arms now to get them placed and put them strong into place mentally and with power.
A good way in to physical images with athletes with feeling is to actually move, do the motion. Like you don't have to do the full motion, but if you can move partially, like if you're throwing something, that you actually move, you close your eyes and you actually move your arm and feel the ball let go. Or if you're doing spins and skating, that you would bring your arms up and you would feel a squeeze and you'd go like this. You do partial. Or if you're kayaking, I've had some people, if they lie down, they can't get feel. They can't get it because they don't paddle lying down. But if you sit them up in the position and say, okay, now there's a paddle in your hand, move and feel the blade come through the water with real feel, it works. It seems to be a real good way into the feeling-oriented imagery, which seems to be most effective.
Felt really good.
Okay, what were you feeling?
It was really snappy. The arms got right in place, and I felt a good connection throughout my body, like the arms and the back and stomach.
Okay, good. Let's do it, right?
Okay.
But I think Tewksbury's got him. Well, he definitely has.
Within the last year,
I've started to really work on mental preparation, and I would give that half the credit for myself going from about 38th in the world to 4th.
Happy guy. He is the current Commonwealth Games champion.
I take about 20 minutes to prepare for about a minute-long race. And I picture the race in my mind, and then I sort of hear the race. Like I hear the starting gun, and I can just hear, you know, nothing, which is what you really hear when you're swimming. And then I'll go through and I'll almost talk. So I see it in almost all the different senses. I go through it almost 5 different ways. So when you get to the race, it's not a surprise. It's like everything is already seen. So it's almost like you just shut your body off and you go through the preparation and all that stuff, and then you get to the race and it's all done. So you really don't think, you just do it.
An athlete, when they are at that level, everybody can win, but the difference is going to be in between their ears. And if you're ready to do everything, you're going to be ready to try the imagery. And I can say that it's worth it. You've got to try it. And I think it worked with many athletes, and you really have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, you know, there's no point of trying it. And I remember the first time I've heard about it, you know, I was smiling and I was laughing and saying, what are you talking about? But when I tried it, I remember I tried it by myself. I didn't want anyone to laugh at me. And I tried it, and I was writing down things, and I was trying to imagine myself on the board, and I was laughing because I couldn't see myself. And then I realized that the next day I was on the board, and I felt like I had done it before. And I went, wow, you know, this is amazing. And I think you have to believe that the mental preparation is really important, and your imagery can be really strong.
Jay Triano, number 9!
You know, you have to use visualization if you're going to play, you know, basketball for the 12 months of the year, because there isn't that time where you can always find good competition to play and good scrimmages to play in. What I'll do when I'm practicing is I'll move around to 5 different spots on the floor. And without a defensive player being there, I have to visualize him making a move and me making a move against that image. So what I'll do is I'll work on different things. The first time I get the ball, I'll make a fake, and the player will go for the fake, so I'll have to adjust my move and go to the right. The second time, I'll do the same thing, only the player has jumped to the right, and I'll make my move going to the left. The next time, I'll do the same thing, only I'll add a pump fake in because he's beat me to the spot, and I'll have to fake him up into the air in order to get my shot off. I'll do the same thing going to the left. The 5th time I do it, I'll have to make an improvisation because I don't know which way he's going to go, and I won't always make the same move twice.
At any given moment, there are 4 components of total behavior: what we're doing, what we're thinking, what we're feeling, and our physiology. At times, we may be not that excited about our physiology or our feelings, but we can always do and think things that'll end up indirectly influencing how we feel and our basic physiology. And therein lies the potential of mental skills. We can always think or focus or behave in a way that starts to improve our physiological response and enable us to come a lot closer to our human potential.
So throughout practice, I would make a point of it not to follow the puck around, always look for where that next guy might be coming, you know. And that's where my visualization came in, because I would visualize a lot of times that the 3 guys coming down to me were Russians, and they had CCCP across their sweaters. And I knew exactly if the puck went deep, it might go, and they delay, it might go right back up top. So I try and play that in practice as like it would be in a game, and I pretend that there's a guy right on me, you know, I gotta make a quick play. And I try and be as quick and crisp in practice as I can, because I know that there's an old saying, you practice the way you play.
One of the best ways to demonstrate the effects of our thoughts, our images, and our visualization is to experiment with one of the simple biofeedback devices that are available through Thought Technology in Montreal. The GSR2 is simply placed in the palm of the hand, inverted, and adjusted to produce constant feedback on the effects of your thoughts and images on your physiology. These units are not only valuable for demonstrating the effects, but are great training devices to facilitate mastery of the relaxation response, focusing skills, and visualization and imagery skills.
Okay, I want you to feel your whole body against the steel cold door, right?
The more descriptive that you can get it, if they come up and you give them a description and they go, ooh, I can really feel that, you know you've got a good one. And we keep a book of that. Like every time they tell me, like I use the swimmers a lot for information. I say, okay, is that a good way to think about it? And they say, oh yeah, I can see that really clearly. So then I keep a list of all the things that really work, and then I can use it with more people.
Okay, good start position. Okay, you should feel it on the back of your thigh, the back of your back, your heel. All right, that was perfect. That was super good.
I think visualization can be used in a variety of situations. I use it just a little bit before I go to bed at night, just try to visualize the general feeling of playing on the Olympic team and parking the excitement, just a general long-term type of visualization. And then daily, I set daily visualization goals. Before coming to practice, maybe on the way in the car, I review in my mind what I want to accomplish and how I want to see myself out there during the practice. And even as short term as between drills when the coach might be outlining something on the blackboard, instead of watching the X's and O's on the blackboard, I try to see myself going through the motions that he describes.
So in those instances, you're playing man-to-man in case...
Our Olympic hockey team worked several months on developing and automating their mental skills.
Man-to-man sometimes.
Obviously, you list the situations you visualize an effective response to. It's usually 3-on-2s. Players rated themselves, set goals, and regularly visualized and practiced the desired responses. They then tested and periodically monitored themselves in more and more demanding situations.
That's it, Gunnar. Good job. Good job.
If you're an athlete, here's the way you can make the best use of your imagery. Start with skills that you already can do well, then begin to work on skills that you're trying to refine. Focus on bringing the feeling up when you do your imagery. Devote 10 to 15 minutes a day to working on improving your imagery. On the way to practice, run through your head what you want to accomplish. During the practice, before you do skills, run through the image of what you want to happen. When you're given corrections, feel the correction in your head before you do the skill. As you're preparing for competitions, feel yourself in control, doing what you want to do, focusing the way you want in the pressure situation. Imagine yourself achieving your ultimate goal.
More important, you've got to see yourself catching the ball, pivoting. You've got to see him before it happens. You've got to see that he's going to beat his man. And then
There are many ways that a coach can be a catalyst in helping athletes develop visualization skills. Articles can be provided, reports might be required, rehearsal time can be provided in practice. Creative simulations might be used to set the stage. Vivid terminology in your descriptions really helps. And of course, you can combine visualization with videotape sessions. But probably most importantly, you can regularly ask the question, can you see yourself respond more effectively?
First of all, we've got that step to the basket, but you have to visualize yourself going around the man. You have to imagine that there's a guy guarding you. Do you do this? We had guys that Jamie Russell used to do this great. He used to be able to rebound, and you could see in his mind as he got a rebound, he had some 250-pound guy laying on his back. Because when he got it, the sweat rolled down, he'd pump, get that guy up, and then he'd push his way up. You could almost see the guy fouling him on the arm. Because that's how much he imagined. He would go up and you'd see him break as the guy fouled him and then lay the ball up. Then he'd walk to the foul line and shoot a foul shot. Because that's what he was going to do in a game.
And I think our top players have developed that skill, man. I'm sure that they could do better at it. I would imagine it's certainly a minimum of an hour and a half, 2 hours. And in that time, that I think might be during that rest time that they have in the afternoon. And they spend an awful lot of time resting, and I think an awful lot of that time would be spent visualizing. And as you and I both know, I mean, visualizing is not daydreaming.
I use it when I'm getting taped before a game.
Mental fitness is not unlike physical fitness. It's a state and a set of capacities. In physical fitness, it's a matter of being able to have endurance, flexibility, and strength, and of course, being rested so that you're able to perform at a high level. Mental fitness has really got some similar parallels in that you have to be able to park distractions, you have to be able to focus, see solutions, be able to relax, maintain emotional control, and these capacities are important to practice and develop just like the capacities, the physical capacities. And of course, the ability to clear your head, focus effectively, is fundamental to having a psychological state that's conducive to effective performance.
You're in school and the puff's boring or something, and all of a sudden you feel yourself land a jump, you know, it becomes really automatic.
I'm reminded of the time I was doing a workshop on mental skills for young figure skaters. A young 10-year-old figure skater started to play with my GSR machine during the presentation. Suddenly, the auditory tone went up noticeably as he sat mentally rehearsing his performance. The little girl next to him inquired, "What happened? What happened?" "Oh, I just fell," he replied nonchalantly, and proceeded the next few moments to progressively improve the image in his mind. And the tone, of course, came down to the normative range. So this young performer, in a matter of moments, with a simple device, learned how to appreciate and begin to control the powerful effect of our mind over our muscles.
I guess I could use it anywhere at the end, but at the beginning I had to use it alone, you know, in a quiet place.
You see, negative thoughts, images, or fears can cause tension and dramatically reduce our ability to focus and perform to our potential. On the other hand, if we learn to relax and to visualize effective responses, we can have a powerful positive impact on our physiology, on our confidence, and our ability to focus and perform.
Can you handle a stick all right? Oh, yeah.
Injured athletes can use visualization to hasten their recovery and their return to form with confidence.
What happens is they sit and watch the practices and visualize themselves doing those skills again, getting the idea of the tempo of practice. That's important because you can get them watching videos of old games towards that process, getting them into watching themselves perform again so that they can say, geez, you know, that was a good move I made. And the same thing is on the ice, so that they get an idea as to what are the demands, what's the speed of the rest of the team traveling at? Am I going to come back and am I going to be slow, or can I help myself by trying to picture myself making moves, visualize myself all over the ice and pegging passes?
So in our schedule for the next 35 or 40 days, there's so many games, there's so much traveling. Now is our test time. Let's apply what we've been trying to learn here over the last couple of months. And if we do that, we'll come out of it stronger people. We want to make sure we see ourselves executing things quickly tonight and get a positive picture in your mind as to how you want to play. I visualize all the time. I visualize we're down 2 goals. How am I going to react to that? The other thing I want to talk a bit about is we're playing in front of a great crowd, and it's a good opportunity to try to harness their energy to work for us. And focus that attack and then in the game, this crowd comes alive. And then all of a sudden, they provide you with the energy you need.
Yeah, coming to the nearest
Psychologists argue that many of us only reach possibly 10 or 20% of our real human potential. Mental skills and mental training, when they're combined with quality rest, diet, and fitness, can enable people to come much, much closer to their real human potential.
I spend a lot of time seeing myself really giving great corrections, like getting right down to the point and giving them corrections that are going to be meaningful.
3 key psychological skills: the ability to relax, the ability to focus, and the ability to visualize effectively, can all be improved with regular practice with a biofeedback unit, like the GSR.
It's not a sports skill, it's a life skill. It's a shame if we leave this to the very small minority of people who play varsity sports when this is something that could be used by everyone.
Visualization has tremendous potential beyond sport. It can help you in new careers. It can make you more effective in school or in business. It can even help you stay healthy and enjoy life to the fullest. Remember, what the mind can conceive and your heart can believe, you can achieve.
Probably the most important thing is to keep at it, even off season.
So it's really important when you're thinking about the game, see good execution, okay, and get a positive picture in your mind as to how you want to play.
Right from day one, when you get a very young little athlete or soon-to-be athlete, that you can start introducing these skills in a very informal way.
I'd like it if our athletes had been doing this for 10 years. They'd be much better.
I would tell them not to wait the last 2 years of their training program to start the imagery, because it's probably the most important part of the training program.